Welcome to Talk of the Town. The kids will be getting out of school and everyone should get outside.
Well, we spend a lot of time outdoors this month. We learn how to be trailblazers on the Appalachian Trail. Well, not really trailblazers, but I learned how to follow the blazes.
That's right, I think we're trailblazers anyway. Well, then we hop into motorcycle sidecars and take a thrilling ride with a new business called Jim Thorpe Sidecars.
And Marie's dad helps us build a new garden that eats bugs.
Yummy! And we give you a quick, easy recipe for outside fun. Homemade bubbles. We took a bucket to the park and made some new friends.
We get started with some great food ideas, perfect for your next cookout. Our friends at Sycamore Grill in Delaware Water Gap invited us into the kitchen to create some delicious summer recipes. Travis, thanks for having us out.
You're more than welcome.
Yeah, what are we gonna do?
Today we're going to make some flank steak fajitas. We did a little bit of a different rendition. We brined it in a balsamic brine for about a week. So it's going to be very tender and have a balsamic flavor to the steak.
Nice. Or you have to start a little ahead of time then.
Yes, you do. You do. For this dish you do, but it's worth the wait.
Okay.
It really is. I have your saute pans over here ready for you to go. You just have to take your glove hand, grab a handful of each, put it in the pan gently. Now with the rag, you're going to give it a little twist. There you go. Here's a rag for you.
Nice fresh ingredients.
Oh,
yeah. Saute them up.
And then for a little bit of seasoning, you hit it with a little bit of salt. Brings out the
Salt
flavors.
is good. A little bit of salt is good.
Cook, cook, cook. For the summertime, it seems like it's always great to pull out the fresh veggies.
Oh, it is. It's great. It's these are highly dense in water, so when you eat it with something, it kind of cools you down. It's good for your metabolism.
And to cook it, it's pretty quick. To saute something, it's really, really fast.
It's nice if people have grills with those little side burners on it. They can grill their steaks on the grill and cook this off to the side. It works wonderful.
Oh, there goes another onion.
We're going to flambe with a little bit of white wine. So if you want.
Get some fire going.
I don't want to get too vigorous.
It's all in the wrist. That's what Travis says.
Oh. Look at your skirt.
Oops.
It's a little too vigorous. Oops.
Oh well. Maybe a little too much wrist.
White wine, grease. It's a good look.
So let these guys continue cooking without any flame. We're going to wrap it up in plastic and let them steam themselves to soften up. You guys are going to each pick up a flank steak here. Just grab it by one end.
All right. Okay. Is this a serving size?
For a couple of people. For a couple of people.
For a couple people. Where am I going with it? Because I
We're
don't
going to
want
go right on the grill over here with it. And what you want to do is
I think this is enough food for all of us, even Zach.
Yeah.
what we're going to do
Right
is
on?
lay it diagonally on the grill because we're going to give it cross
We want to
hatches.
get those nice.
Like that?
Yep, that's fine. Perfect. There you go.
Yeah.
Flank steak is relatively cheap, and once it's marinated, it has a beautiful fat content in it. And when you break down the proteins through either acid or brining, it creates a very tender steak. 1 week we brine them.
1 week.
And the brine for people at home, if they want to know a recipe for brine, it's 10 cups of water to 1 cup of balsamic and a half a cup of salt.
And keep it cold, right? It has
Keep it
to
in the
stay in the
fridge, yeah.
refrigerator.
You keep it in the refrigerator. And what happens is the salt starts to pull the juice out of the meat. And once the juices from the meat come out, the balsamic and the other liquids start to come in. You get this beautiful balsamic flavor.
Very nice.
We turned our steaks on an angle so we can get some beautiful marks on them. And after they're on the grill for a bit, we're going to pop them in the oven until they're medium rare.
Now, do you think one of the biggest mistakes people make when they're grilling at home is overcooking the meat?
Definitely.
They just leave it on there way too long.
Yeah, I see whenever I go to barbecues, I usually stick with the side sauce and stuff.
Because it's like leather meat?
Yeah, people tend to overcook it either too high of a heat or too long.
Yeah,
Because you're drinking beer?
Exactly, forget about it.
Yeah.
So what advice do you have for them if they're trying to make steaks on the grill?
If I was going to say you're going to make a steak on the grill, keep it high off the heat. You know, get your marks on it on a high heat, and once the steak is marked, put it up higher on the grill. This way it's at less of a temperature when it cooks. Because when you cook on a high heat, the outside tends to cook faster and the inside tends to stay rare. So the slower and lower you're going to go, you're going to get a perfect medium rare throughout the steak. And also when you're cooking on the grill, it's one of those things where you can't walk away for too long. You just got to stand there and watch it. And if you're a fan of beer, drink your beer at the grill.
Drink a beer while you're at the grill.
While these guys are cooking in the oven, we can move over and do our salad.
Just enough for you and me.
Yeah, I'm feeling kind of hungry today, so that'll be good. Travis, while the steaks are cooking, we're going to whip up a salad, right?
Yes, we are.
What is this salad?
This is a wild rice salad. It's composed of 3 different grains, and we have all fresh summer ingredients here. We're doing this in a little bit of a Greek fashion because of the feta cheese and the grape tomatoes. This is a nice accompaniment for any type of beef or chicken or seafood. You could serve it at warm, room temperature, or cold, which is nice. It's versatile in that sense. And we're just going to use simple but good ingredients. Red onion, fresh chopped dill, green onions, grape tomatoes, feta cheese, and spinach. So what I'm going to have you girls do is take the amounts that you see fit to add to the salad. Go ahead and mix it in.
As we see fit.
However you choose.
I like cheese.
If you like cheese, you can throw a lot of cheese in.
I like cheese. I know you
like cheese too. Put it all in, Marie. All the cheese goes in. Since we have 2 forms of onions, I'll save a little bit of onions.
And what is this again?
That is fresh dill.
Fresh
chopped.
dill. Okay, so we're not going to use all the fresh dill, I don't think. But that looks like a good amount.
That looks like a perfect amount.
And tomatoes, I'll put them in for you. I'm not a tomato fan, but you know,
like tomatoes.
they're easy to pick out.
These are for sure. Now this is like a healthier salad. We're getting away from the pasta salads, going to a rice salad. Explain that.
A lot of people are becoming gluten-free for celiac disease and other various reasons, and just because it's a healthier choice to stay off of flour as much as you can. So instead of using a flour-based pasta, we decided to go with rice. Majority of the world's population eats rice, and it's something that I would like to incorporate more into American diets.
Cool.
So-
and we like spinach, so we loaded it up.
Oh yeah, high
Did
iron.
we do okay with our mixture?
It looks great. So now we just have to dress it. You have a fancy red wine vinegar, which you can go ahead and spray in there. And quite possibly the most
More.
Yeah, a little bit more. There you go. I like acidity, so
Me
a little
too.
extra. And then
Olive oil?
a very important ingredient is cold pressed olive oil. Cold pressed has a stronger, more profound flavor, and you can actually buy it for the same price as just standard extra virgin olive oil. So you're gonna have to pour that in there.
He walked away. How do I know how much?
Use your
I think you're
judgment.
I did kind of like a swirl around. Is that good or
That's
a little
perfect.
more?
Now the thing is too, since we have feta in here, we're only going to incorporate a little bit of salt because feta is a very salty cheese as is. So I'm just going to sprinkle a minute amount. And
He
you guys,
seems to have that in your hand all the time. He magically
pull it out
has
of
the
the
salt. Yeah.
all right, so you girls can just toss that up. Go ahead.
Try to keep it off your skirt, Ken.
I'll try and keep it off my skirt. We get to taste.
All right. Try to get a little bit of everything in here. Well, except the
Especially-
tomato for me.
I'm gonna pass on the tomato for this bite just because, you know, it's
I taste the dill.
Once the salad sits a little bit, the acidity will start to wilt the spinach a little bit, and then take on a different texture. It's very smooth and soft.
That's
and nice.
yummy though.
It is really good.
So our flank steak is cooked. We were going for rare to medium rare. When you cut a flank steak, it's a little bit more of a grainy piece of meat, so you want to cut it on the bias and thin. And we let some of the heat come off of it. This way when you slice into it, all the juices don't run out of it. You want to keep it nice and moist, so you let it cool down, and you'll have a juicy steak. And there you have a nice, juicy flank steak.
Oh, it's really good.
Looks very good. Travis, I noticed you didn't give us the knife and tell us to cut.
Yeah, I don't know what the insurance carrot is in this place, so I figured
You
I'd
were
do it, so.
afraid because I had trouble with the sauteing, keeping it in the pan, right?
There you go.
Cool. All right, Travis, you showed us how to make all these great summertime menu ideas. Tell us about the Sycamore Grill and what people can find here.
Well, at the Sycamore Grill, we're open 7 days a week. We serve lunch during the summertimes, which we're open for now. I have a full lunch menu that has salad, soups, paninis, wraps, burgers, with specialty sandwiches as well. And then for dinner service, you can come in and get pub food, or you can get more of a casual fine dining fare.
I noticed everything in your kitchen is all fresh, so you really focus on good,
Fresh
high
ingredients.
quality, fresh ingredients.
There's not too many canned items that you'd find. You know, we try and make everything from scratch that we possibly can. So it's just taking the extra step in the initiative to do something fresh for the local clientele.
Well, we appreciate it, and we have a lot of work to do here.
You made us quite a lunch, I'm not gonna lie. This is amazing. So I guess it's time to dig in.
Yeah.
Yum.
Oh yeah, that's good.
A big thanks to executive chef Travis Lugo for helping us create all that wonderful food. In fact, he also shared a summer recipe with lentils and bratwurst braised in beer that we're posting on our Facebook page. Be sure to check out the video.
And you also need to check out our June photo album on our Facebook page. Like the correct photo from our adventures at the Sycamore Grill, and you could win a $25 gift certificate. We're going to have 2 winners. Good luck.
We'll be revving up the engines when Talk of the Town comes right back with a unique tour through the mountains.
It is such a beautiful day. I wish we could do every segment outside.
Well, we are in downtown Jim Thorpe where we're going to do something really different.
Have you ever been on a sidecar ride?
Well, that's what we're going to do today, and it's definitely Talk of the Town worthy. All right. Yes, awesome.
Step right in.
Yeah.
And elbows in.
Elbows in. Let the fun begin.
You got it. You're good to go.
Jim Thorpe Sidecar Tours started with Barb Timber's love of motorcycles and their sidecars. She now operates one of the only sidecar tour companies in the country.
We are by reservation. We have lots of literature out in the web or cards, rack cards throughout the area, and folks will either find us on the web or call and give information, get information. We offer 3 different tours, a 1-hour, 2-hour, 3-hour tour. I will be the driver. One gets to sit in the sidecar, one sits behind, or if there's 2 couples that want to go out together, we will take 2 bikes out for the afternoon. And we'll come pick you up at your home or wherever you're staying, go for the tour, and we drop you off.
This is awesome. I feel like I'm at an amusement park and this is one of the rides.
Zach, this is awesome. You've got to try this. Come here.
I know! Chinese fire drill! Barb Timbers and Eddie Fink are our tour guides through some of the most beautiful backcountry roads in the Poconos. Is there a danger involved?
Actually, there have been different reports done by the United Sidecar Association, and sidecars have been found to be just as safe as a car. A single-person motorcycle is 7 times more likely to have an accident than a bike with a sidecar. They're very safe.
Is it because it's just bigger, it's easier to see?
I think it's bigger, it's easier to see. Folks who ride them are generally a little older. It's not a sport bike out trying to be fast. It's a weekend slow ride. And for that reason, they're just safer drivers, safer bikes.
What a perfect place for a break. I could use a drink.
Hey, look, Coca-Cola, only a nickel.
I have a nickel. Think it'll work?
It's a gorgeous day, and we're going to take you up to the Galen Glen Winery. It's a beautiful ride up through the mountains and the country, and you get up on top of the mountain, and it's just God's country. You will love it there.
with helmet head if you're really wearing a helmet, because then you have a reason.
Yeah.
Barb, that was amazing.
Yeah, that was. High five!
High five!
That one for me!
It is amazing up here. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it is beautiful.
Absolutely
And
gorgeous.
geez, what a way to spend your days.
Right? I'm living my dream one ride at a time.
In the summer, we offer special tastings and also walking tours. Those go through our vineyard, down to our wine cellar, and then back up to the tasting room. The tours are free.
Here's to adventures with Barb and Ed.
And riding in the sidecar.
I'll drink to that.
A big thanks to Barb Timbers and Eddie Fink for our sidecar tour through Carbon County.
We had so much fun, and Barb wants a lucky viewer to enjoy a 1-hour sidecar tour for 2. All you need to do is visit our Facebook page, check out the June album, like the correct photo, and let us know if you have ever been in a sidecar. Good luck.
And when Talk of the Town continues, we head to Marie's house to create a carnivorous garden. This past winter has been one of the longest I can remember. I'm so happy to finally see all the plants greening up.
Me too. Now, if you've been watching Talk of the Town over the last few years, you know that I'm a garden girl. And that's a big thanks to my parents, Kay and Herb Johns. They taught me everything I know.
Marie's parents own Point Phillip Perennials in Danielsville, and they've helped Marie create all of these beautiful gardens.
And today, we're going to build a new one with some really interesting plants.
Today, we're going to build a bog garden, a little bit different than the normal garden, and I'm not going to do the initial work. That's going to be Kim and Marie.
What do we do?
Here they are.
We have shovels.
Guess we have to start digging.
All right. So, Dad, tell us what's different about a bog garden.
Well, a bog is a depression in the soil, in the topography, and where water collects and all the vegetative matter rots into peat. So you have peat and you have rainwater mixed with the peat underneath the surface. So when you plant a carnivorous plant, it's quite different because you do not use fertilizer. Fertilizer will kill the plants. You must also water them with rainwater because the water from your well or from your city has minerals in it, and you don't want to have minerals. So you must catch rainwater to use in your bog. A place where you can go to see a bog is up in Tannersville at the Cranberry Bog, and you can see these plants growing naturally there. Now don't get too deep because we're only going to go 4 or 5 inches.
We don't dig the China?
You know, we're not there to China, no.
Well, wait a minute. I think we need to dig a little bit deeper because we let Zach have all this fun all the time with us. I think he needs to take a turn with the shovel.
Okay, Zach, get busy.
Your turn. You think he's breaking a sweat?
No, not even.
Come on, step it up, Zach.
This nice little bowl, and this is going to be the bog. This is going to catch water, namely rainwater, and it's actually going to be filled with rainwater, but we're going to put it in the ground. We need more on this side than this side because this side's high. Because the rock that we're going to use is going to rest on the lip.
Yes.
To make it so that it's a little irregular shape. You don't want it to overflow into there because we're going to put real bog soil in there, and bog soil is nothing but peat and sand. And the mixture of peat and sand is 2 parts peat to 1 part sand. And you could use play sand, you could use concrete sand, you could use masonry sand. It just has to be clean sand, no organic material in it. All we're doing is emulating a bog. Okay. And every time it rains, it's going to fill that bowl, which is going to be under the ground, and it'll have standing water in it, and that's going to be perfect for the bog plants. Okay, here it comes, camera. Okay, now you fill that out. And that's the initial, but now I want to fill that with rainwater. Everybody has rain spouts. And if you take the little end off your rain spout and put a bucket under, you can catch all the rainwater that you need. And initially, you have to use rainwater to wet your soil. After that, the rain will fill that bowl and keep it full. And you go slowly so you don't wash it out of your bowl. And you want to fill the bowl until it's overflowing. And that's important.
That's a lot of water.
That's all right. It's a 3-gallon bowl. All right, now we're going to put a decorative surface around the bowl, and then we're going to build it up about 2 inches so that the roots will be in this part, in the bowl, and the rest of the plant will be about that far up. So you need to elevate around the edges
So we can
finish
put more
the
soil
decorative
in.
part of your garden.
Okay.
Pause. That's probably too big.
Yeah,
Use
it's
this
too
one, Marie.
big outside of that.
Use this one. And then we're going to fill this up.
We're gonna make a little raised bed.
Make a raised bed, and now we're going to have a bog. When it rains, it's filled the bowl, and the soil is going to be up about 2 to 3 inches higher than the bowl. So when you plant your plants, the roots are going to be in the water, but the top's not.
And does a bog garden need to get a lot of sun?
It needs to be full sun. That most people think that bogs are in the shape, but nothing else grows in a bog. No trees, because it's nothing there. It's all peat moss. A bog garden is a focal point. Everybody wants to know about it. We're going to plant 3 carnivorous plants in the bog. All they want to do is eat meat. and
Bugs, right?
it's all on bugs. You don't feed them hamburger or anything like that. They want to eat bugs. And if you look in the picture, you'll see little flies in there, and that's what they eat.
Show us
An
the-
old one that I cut out,
That's gross. From last year.
Creepy.
that's from last year, and you don't want to smell that. They smell pretty bad.
You're right, we don't want to smell that.
So we're going to plant this one, maybe you go right here.
Okay.
And then we're going to plant a Venus flytrap, which is another carnivorous plant. And you got to be careful with kids because they want to poke them to make the trap close. And if they close, a lot of times they won't reopen and they'll starve because there's nothing in there. They need a fly in there when they close. That one's going to go there.
Because that's the little one, so that'll be in the front.
Now you want to plant them.
Okay.
Okay? You're going to make a hole and you're going to take your fingers and get down into that water.
So
Where
you're
that-
going down
Look
pretty
for the
deep.
You're
water.
down, you're going to get your gloves wet, Kim.
Yeah, that's all right. I'm
Okay,
feeling
Mike.
the water.
Now you're going to take that out of the pot, like so. Let me show you. I'll show you. Just give it a shake. And then very carefully put it down there, even with the top.
Like that.
And then now
Yeah.
backfill it with your fingers to keep it about that level. All right?
Okay.
You don't want to go too deep.
Like that.
About
There?
you went even with the level, right? Those roots will reach down into that water in the bowl.
That little bug's having his last day.
Well, no, you didn't get near the pitcher. I don't think the flower's very
And
dangerous.
the flower's not going to hurt him, but
Yeah, once he gets in there
if
or
he gets
there.
in the pitcher, he won't be able to get out. There's little microscopic hairs in the pitchers, and they go one way but not the other. And this is another way you can grow a bog. You can put it in a pot with the same material, peat and sand, and then you put a saucer of rainwater under it so that the saucer water level is about this high.
I'm so happy I have a beautiful new bog garden. Thanks, Dad.
You're welcome.
We did such a great job, and you can too. It was easy.
It was easy and looks great.
And all you have to do to win your own personal bog garden is go to our Facebook page, like the correct photo, and tell us why you want to get rid of some bugs.
Good idea. And all you have to do is put this in a saucer, keep it like this, or you can build your own bog garden like we did, right?
That's right. And Marie, hopefully it'll get rid of all the flies out here.
All right. No bug zappers needed. It's time to get outside and enjoy the great outdoors. So we're in Delaware Water Gap today, but we're looking for an adventure.
Well, Marie, these guys aren't really helping us very much. This canoe isn't even moving.
We're not even in the water.
So I guess it's time to try something different. Maybe a hike on the Appalachian Trail.
Before we start our hike, we pay a visit to Edge of the Woods Outfitters in Delaware Water Gap. The store has all the gear you need for your adventure. They specialize in everything outdoors, from biking to rafting to canoeing and hiking.
Well, here in Delaware Water Gap, there's a lot of different ways users can experience the national park. The Delaware Water Gap National Recreation Area is a 70,000 acre national park. The southern end is right here in Delaware Water Gap. So not only hiking and biking, but we also offer Delaware River trips. So you can take your family in a canoe, kayak, or raft. You can paddle any length of river that is suitable for you guys as far as the amount of time you want to be out. We've got multi-day trips. We've got 2-hour trips, and people do everything in between. There's a brand new bike trail here in our national park. It's called the Joseph McDade Trail. It's a 30-mile trail that was constructed for biking and hiking and for all ability levels. So what we do is we drive our bikes to the trailhead in the morning, and we'll send you there. You park at the trailhead, we'll hand you a bike, you ride the trails. When you're done, we collect the bike from you. Yeah, so it's a wonderful trail for families, or if you're a more advanced biker, there's some wonderful challenging trails too.
Delaware Water Gap offers several outdoor adventure options. We decide to stick with hiking, so Chuck Cooper has some tips to help us get started.
You know, make sure you have comfortable footwear. It's the most important thing. Good hiking socks and some trail runners or some light hikers. Bring a backpack where you can carry some water and a jacket or whatever you might need, and a good map.
I actually don't have on good hiking boots, so Chuck's gonna hook me up.
Okay. It's important that you pick a pair that you like the way they look and they fit, okay? So you don't need, for day hiking, you don't really need a backpacking boot. This is like a light hiking boot, which is great for everybody, but you probably would be more comfortable in a low hiker or a trail runner. And
That's very rugged, Kim.
Yeah.
Since they're not, if you're not going to go pink, go rugged.
All right, go rugged. I'll listen to Marie. Go rugged.
I like those. They're nice.
Thank you for picking them out, Marie. I'm ready to go with my nice new hiking boots.
Hey, we found it!
All right.
Hooray! We're gonna put my hiking boots to the test now.
Great, guys. So we're down here in Delaware Water Gap. We're gonna hike the Appalachian Trail up on to Mount Mincy, and we'll see some nice historical spots and some great views along the way.
Cool.
Let's check it out.
Awesome, lead on.
All right. The Appalachian Trail Conservancy organizes volunteer trail crews, and it's all volunteer based. They log about 220,000 hours of volunteer work a year on the Appalachian Trail for cleanup and trail maintenance. So a lot of bridges and shelters and, you know, little stairways along the way that have to get maintained all the time.
I suppose a lot happens over the winter that needs to be cleaned up at the beginning of every season.
Especially this past winter.
Yeah, this winter was rough on everything.
Zach, hurry up! You're falling really far behind!
When you're hiking the trail, the turns are marked by something like this. So when you have a blaze on top of a blaze, this would mean you would make a left turn.
Left turn.
Yeah, and if you have 3 in a row, that's where the trail starts or stops. If you have a blue blaze, that marks a trail that goes to a water source. So there's a little bit about how you can kind of navigate yourself around the trail. Now, if you just follow these white blazes, it will take you. You won't have to worry about getting lost. It'll take you to all the great spots, the best overlooks, and the good stuff along the way is going to be on the Appalachian Trail. So
all the way from Georgia to Maine.
Yeah, and remember, it's not a loop, so you do have to come back the way you came.
Or get a ride.
Yeah, or get a ride. Yeah, and we actually do. We offer a shuttle service for overnight trips and you know, people that are doing sections of Appalachian Trail. So we'll drive them about, you know, a week out, and they'll hike back to their car, you know, or an overnight trip, whatever they need.
This is a beautiful overlook.
It really is.
Snack time?
It's always snack time, Zach. That's why I have the backpack. But we're not even to the halfway point yet, so trail mix. It seems appropriate on the trail.
Absolutely.
I hope you're not. I know you'll eat anything nuts and
Good.
Yeah, I'll eat anything as well. Great. It's
and
good.
Zach, I know you'll eat anything.
Thank you.
Delaware Water Gap, the geological feature that we're looking at now, was formed about 350 million years ago. It was carved out by the Wisconsin Glacier. And if you can imagine about a mile of ice on top of this, you can see how it would be easy for this to form. The Delaware River found its way through, and here we are. The Water Gap is a nice break in the Kittatinny mountain range, and that's a nickname for this ridge line that we're looking at. The Kittatinny is a Lenape word for endless mountains. Well, that's where that came from.
It's perfect. It's beautiful.
Yeah. A lot of people like to use these collapsible trekking poles. It's great because when you don't want to use them, you can make them this big and put them in your pack. And then if you want a little help going up a hill or down a hill, you can take them out and they just come out like that.
Oh,
and they're
sweet.
Pretty nifty.
It's like a ski pole.
That collapses,
Helps with the rocks.
And you can either use one at a time or you can use two. So you can try that one.
Thank you. You obviously know what you're doing because you're guesstimating the right sizes for both of us.
And also it's a big thing in the store that we repair is these things. We have lots of replacement parts for them, and hikers come in broken.
Knew it. Well, broke 50 miles ago.
Need the poles, yeah. So if you were going, if you were hiking the Appalachian Trail, you have to imagine you have 30, 40 pounds in your back. So you can imagine how translating that load to some of that really helps take the pressure off your knees quite a bit. So yeah, people with knee issues, especially when you're going down, the poles really help a lot.
And we're just at the perfect spot to try them out.
Yeah, we're at a little nice rocky hill here, so you guys can see how they feel.
And I'm always the one that worries whether I'm going to fall over for something like this, so the pole is just perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You doing all right, Ree?
Yep. How about you?
So far, so good. Chuck, are you all right since you gave us your poles?
I'm good. Yep.
Well, this is called Eureka Creek. I guess people were happy to see it.
Eureka, we're here!
We're here. This would probably be a good place to check out our map so we can figure out where we're going. So I brought along one of these brand new map that just came out last year. This is an outstanding map. It encompasses the whole National Recreation Area, all of the little side trails, all of the Appalachian Trail, the river campsites, and the bike trail is all in one map here. So we're coming up here to we're here in Delaware Water Gap, and we're going up the side of the mountain, and I think we're going to come out on this little overlook that looks like it's right down the trail here. So I think if we keep going about 5 minutes, we should hit that.
Not too far. Important tool for everybody to have when they explore, right?
Yeah.
Because men don't stop for directions, right?
No, we don't, but we love
But
maps.
if you have them in your pocket, you're good.
Yeah.
Awesome.
We made it.
Wow.
Snack time?
Yeah. Snack time.
Zach's making sure we get our ration of snacks.
I have apples and clementines
great.
and trail mix. Can you toss this out for me? And I don't know if that
Sure.
means toss it over the cliff or put it in your bag.
Yeah, organic garbage is still garbage. We do like to practice leave no trace. So if you have banana peels or orange peels, that stuff really takes a long time to biodegrade. So we just make sure we pack it out with us when we go. And as you were hiking here today, you probably noticed you didn't see a single piece of litter anywhere. And that's because we all work together to help keep it nice and clean. So while I'm sitting here, I think I'm just gonna grab this cigarette butt that somebody left behind and throw it out and take it with me, and we'll leave it a little nicer than we found it.
Great idea.
Yeah.
It's much easier when you're going this way.
That's because when you go down the mountain, it's downhill.
Whoa.
Those boots saved your butt.
Yeah, my boots saved me there.
We're here at Lake Lenape, named after the native peoples of this area. The Lenape people lived along both sides of the Delaware. This is part of what was originally a turn-of-the-century resort area. So in the 1900s, the beginning of the century there, people would come, they'd take the train here from New York City, and right at this area was one of the nation's first famous vacation spots. So this is, at this lake, there's a famous photograph here. And this is Fred Astaire and his sister Adele when they were teenagers paddling on this lake. And the boathouse was straight back there, and this was definitely a popular recreation area.
Wow.
The Kittatinny House, which we would see the roof line right below us, and we'll hike down there in a minute, and the Water Gap House is right up on top of this little knoll right here. We can still go up there and see those foundations. They still exist. It's a really neat area. You know, the places have all gone away, and that's Main Street, Water Gap, and the Appalachian Trail passes right in front of this building. This building still exists today. It looks just like that as it is. It's right down the street. This is Theodore Roosevelt in his car pulling up to the Water Gap House. So he would have driven right up this road that we walked on, where the Appalachian Trail is now, right to the top of the hill and pulled into the entrance. And quite a bit of history right in this little area right here.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
Gotcha.
We had a great outdoor adventure hiking the Appalachian Trail. If you've never done it, you should grab a good pair of hiking boots and go for it.
You might want to schedule your hike for June 28th. That is the day the Appalachian Trail Conservancy will be celebrating Delaware Water Gap by designating the town an official trail town.
The designation honors the town for being supportive of the Appalachian Trail and recognizes the community members and businesses for being friendly and accommodating to all the hikers.
Congratulations to Delaware Water Gap for the well-deserved honor. And good news for two lucky viewers. Our hiking buddy Chuck Cooper from Edge of the Woods Outfitters wants two lucky viewers to enjoy an outdoor adventure.
He's giving away a river trip for two and also a biking rental for two. Just go to our Facebook page, check out the June album, like the correct photo, and let us know why you love the outdoors. Good luck.
Talk of the Town will be right back with some good old-fashioned fun, great for the whole family.
The spring and summer are the perfect times of the year to get the kids away from those video games. Get them outside to play.
Sometimes I think our lives are too organized, so how about getting outside and mixing a batch of bubbles?
Making homemade bubbles is simple and cheap.
Yes, it is, and all you need to start is a big bucket and 12 cups of water.
You need to add 4 cups of dish soap. The recipe we found says use Joy.
The next ingredient in our bubbles is corn syrup, believe it or not. These are 16-ounce bottles of corn syrup, and we need 3 cups, so that would be 1.5 bottles. And then this has to dissolve, so start stirring, Kim.
Let's go find some friends to play with. Do you guys want to play bubbles with us?
You want to play? You want to play bubbles with us?
It's pretty cool.
Just dip on in. Whoa, that's a huge bubble. Do you like the bubbles?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Just wave it around. Ooh.
Yeah, that's a style. I like that.
Lots of bubbles.
There's a big one. Woo! It gotcha!
Oh, I caught him.
Right.
You
Very
did.
nice.
It's hard to catch bubbles.
Ooh.
Wow, that's a cool one.
Almost a huge one.
Ooh. Wow. Ooh, that's a great one. Little ones are good. Wow, that was a big one.
Go.
There you go. Look at the big one behind you, behind you. Woo. Almost got you, Zach.
Here, I'll put it right here.
That was awesome.
That was a great bubble.
Let's see.
Wow.
Woo, look at that big one. There it goes.
Still have more.
I'll get dizzy and fall.
I'll try that too.
This is very sticky.
Ready?
Now, when you go home, all you need to do is jump in the shower because you already have the soap all over you. So you just get in the shower and go like this and you'll probably bubble up. Ooh, wee! You should definitely try this at home. It's time to get your butt off the couch and kick it in high gear.
We get moving in June with a popular workout called CrossFit. And we've never done this before.
We found our coaches at Stroud CrossFit in Stroudsburg ready to encourage us through our first class.
It's a full body workout every day. We program based on body weight exercises like push-ups and sit-ups. We'll throw in some barbell exercises and then cardio. We run, we jump rope. It's completely different than what you see at like a local gym. You'll be okay. You'll survive, I promise.
After a quick lap, there was a dynamic warm-up.
All right, once you guys are done with the warm-up, start moving towards the back for mobility.
So far, so good.
Good. Now I'll do some stretches specific for this workout.
Okay.
Back, through. Till you find a spot where you can't make it, spend some time stretching those shoulders out, okay? Move your hands in tiny. Good, and stay right there where it's kind of tough.
Yep.
You can get a good stretch on your shoulders. Good. AMRAP stands for as many rounds as possible in 8 minutes. So your rounds are 5 muscle-ups, 10 power cleans, 200-meter run. Back to the top, 5 muscle-ups, as many times as you can get through this small circuit in 8 minutes.
Everything's nice and straight. I'm gonna try and pull myself so my chest is all the way to the rings, and when I'm at the bottom, I'm still keeping my back tight. I'm not down here.
10, 10, 10, run.
Yep, so you're gonna do 10 of those rows, 10 of the dips, 10 of these, and then you're gonna go for a run.
Are you tired already?
Yes.
Okay?
This is gonna be hard.
3, 2, 1, go!
So pull yourself all the way up, there you go. Good, Marie.
The biggest struggle is being able to let someone pass you next to you, but focus on just beating yourself. Holding on to that one extra rep, deciding, okay, I don't care how winded I am, I'm gonna hold on for 5. And getting to 5 and being like, maybe I can do one more, and then another one, and then another one. And constantly trying to push yourself by beating yourself, beating your expectations, beating everything that you thought was originally possible.
Good, come on, keep those elbows nice and tight, elbows nice and tight.
And I researched it, talked to the coaches. They said that this would be good for my knees. I've been hooked on it since then. I love it. I've gotten stronger. I've done things that I never thought I could do. I don't like running as much anymore because this just takes all the energy out. It's physical and it's mental at the same time.
Big hips, there you go. Really squeeze that butt. Good. Awesome, Marie.
You ready, Red?
I'm ready.
Remember, use this as your rest. Good job, girl. Stay tough. Keep that stomach nice and tight at the bottom. Yeah, get it, girl.
That's it.
There you go. Good. Good job. 10 of that. Just like that, Kim. Good job. It helps, too, to have people next to you. You see, like, okay, they're still pushing themselves. It's a little bit of a motivation. All right, I want to push myself, too. Good. Ready for another run?
Yes.
Good job, guys. Come on. 2:15 left. You're almost done.
The running is the easy part.
25 seconds left. Let's go. Good. Get it, girl. 3, 2, 1. Rest. Good job. Now you get to rest for 4 minutes. Good job. Good job.
We made it.
Heck yeah. First half is done.
Shake out.
Get ready for round 2.
Burpees, lunges, sit-ups. 21, 15, 9. You guys know how this works. For you guys, you are gonna do 21 burpees, 21 lunges, 21 sit-ups. Then you'll move to 15 of each, 9 of each, 6 of each, 3 of each. Make sense? Pretty simple. Go!
1, 2. Now you're gonna do those walking lunges. There you go. This is a good time to catch your breath. There you go. Really throw those arms up when you sit up. Perfect. You guys are doing awesome. Stay with it. Whew, this is tough. I'm beat. You're almost done. Almost done. Home stretch. 9 now. 9 of each.
It helps them to hear, you know, coaches, somebody else. Even like, you definitely heard some of the other students pushing each other. And that's what this is about, is like the community pushing each other, and that's why it's so effective.
Good job, guys. Come on. You're almost done. I know it's warm. Stay tough. 3 of each. This is it. Home stretch. 3 of each. One more. And time.
Oh, we made it.
Awesome job. Wow. Good job, dude. You guys fought hard. You did really good. Almost done, Allie. Get it, girl.
When I first came, I came to lose weight. So now, when I think of CrossFit, I think of being healthier, being stronger, being quicker than I was yesterday. So a lot of times I'm last, but I realize I make it through. So that translates in other areas of my life where if I'm facing something really difficult, instead of giving up, it's like, okay, no, you need to just pace yourself. You can get through this.
So when people typically first start, we have foundations program. So if there's someone that wants to try a class, we offer free classes on Saturdays at 10. And that's everyone's opportunity to give it a shot before they commit and buy all in. And then once they decide to join, we do foundations. It's a 4-week program where we go over all the skills, any movement. That way it's a little bit safer for coaches, for everyone else in the class, and for the athletes themselves.
You guys did good. Really awesome for your first time. It's a lot to get into. It's a lot going on. So you guys really worked really well. It was good to see.
You guys did awesome. It's a lot to get into your first class. There's 1,000 different exercises, and you adapted really well. It was good. You pushed yourself. It was perfect.
Whatever you do, get strong and be the talk of the town.
All right, enough playing. Let's shoot our.
This is fun.
We had so much fun.
Let's do this when the children are around.
Okay.
All right.